yeah. Look at that. Oh, isn't that gorgeous? You got a hair on your nose there. Have you been kissing the cat?
Oh, and the rabbits.
Kissing the cat and the rabbits. Right, well, we've got a few shout outs first, haven't we? And we're going to talk a bit about our Viva experience, Viva outreach experience later, aren't we?
Yeah.
But two things. Last week, was it last week? We talked about the Reading vegan festival, didn't we?
Yeah.
No, I think it was the week before, actually. Anyway, there was a guy there. He did the music, didn't he? And
Yeah,
he
really
also
good
did
guy.
the meditation. I don't know whether to attempt to say his name. We were going to find out his name, weren't we?
Yeah, found out his name. It's
We have. His name's at the bottom of the screen. I don't even think I'm going to attempt to say it.
Jury, yeah,
Derry Haddis? Derry Haddis? Not even going to attempt to say it, but he was really cool, wasn't he? He was very good.
Lovely guy.
Yeah, so go back. I think it's episode 8 we talk about it. Go back to that episode.
Yeah, episode 8.
Yeah, episode 8. Go back to episode 8 and rewatch that episode if you haven't seen it already. And you'll know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, but after last week's episode with the chocolate, we discovered a couple of things, didn't we?
We did, yeah. Because we want to add them in, don't we?
Yes. Firstly, that Aldi now do a new range of vegan chocolate.
Yeah, they've actually got 3 to choose from.
They have, and they're at the screen on the screen now. But the only one that we can have is the. Did you say it's the chocolate fudge brownie?
Yeah, it's only where we're gluten intolerant.
Yeah.
I mean, the rest they're completely fine for everybody else that's vegan and non-vegan.
Yeah. Anybody else who's tried the other ones that we know say they're really lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah, well worth having, and they're just a little bit cheaper than what like the more premium brands would be in the other supermarkets. But what we did discover is a vegan answer to Kinder Surprise. You know, the Kinder eggs? It's called Play and Choc. And you get a little box and you get like a little animal in each one.
And they're endangered animals, aren't
yes, they are. You get a little card to tell you all about the animal, and you get some nice chocolate in there, don't you?
Yeah, I must admit they were for the grandkids, but we also tried one as well. We did.
Yeah, us chocoholics, we did try them, but you get the little endangered animal. There's a tiger there, and I don't even know what that is. Any idea? Answers on a postcard, please. I don't know.
Looks really sweet though.
Yeah, it does, whatever it is. But we did have the card to tell us what it was, but we've lost it.
I think it's lovely because of, especially for young kids, because of I remember when I was little and obviously non-vegan at the time, you always wanted to go for like a Kinder Egg because when you're a kid you just want the toy inside, don't you? So this is like quite similar, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it was quite exciting for the kids, really.
Yeah, definitely.
But there's 18 different endangered animals to collect. The chocolates are wrapped in compostable film. Toys are made from recycled board and printed with vegetable-based ink, and they're all made in the UK. So, and they're dairy, nut, gluten, and plastic-free.
That's really good because especially like if someone's got an allergy to nuts as well, that's a really good thing.
Yes, it is. Yeah. But, so I think that's all the
and they're only I think £1.50.
Yes.
So really good price.
Yeah, they're not too bad. Although Bridie did say, that's mother-daughter, she was saying that they were selling them in the Co-op for 30 odd p.
Oh,
for
okay.
some reason. They probably weren't selling.
Like
so
discontinuing.
yeah, probably. But I've never seen them in there.
No.
But yeah, 150 is not too bad. I'd say that's probably what you pay for a Kinder Egg now. I don't know. I haven't bought a Kinder Egg for years because obviously they're not vegan, and obviously we don't like the little plastic toys in them either. They just like contribute to landfill.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there you go. Also this week I had a bit of a run-in with somebody on Facebook. I go on like the local. Why are you saying that? I'm not always having run-ins, but yeah. Let me explain. There's a Facebook page about Newbury, and don't know whether a lot of you know, but we live near Greenham. Well, Newbury has Greenham Common, which was the old RAF base, and had nuclear missiles or something back in the 80s. I sort of half remember it, the protesting women down there, but it's now like a lovely peaceful common, isn't it?
Yeah.
That you can walk your dog on.
Yeah.
Yeah, and apparently somebody reported that they have wild cow. Well, not wild cows, but they have cows roaming free.
Yeah, just grazing, don't they?
Yeah, which I'm sure they're living a lovely life. But one of them was giving birth, and by the sound of it, they were having what they thought was a pretty bad time. This passerby, and they were a little bit worried and put it on the local Facebook page. And there were a few replies. The good news is the cow and the calf were absolutely fine. But then it started a bit of an argument between another vegan, well, I think he was vegan, and this other guy who ended up being a sheep farmer. And I sort of chimed in, and I can't even remember what my previous comment was. But he put, the farmer put, if no one ate meat, this is what got me. If no one ate meat, then there would be no wonderful animals in fields for all to see. No farmers, no food, no future. Which I can't understand that statement. So I replied with something like, oh, well then what we need to do is start eating lions, tigers, anything else endangered. And then maybe we can keep the numbers up.
Yeah, and then you can see them in the field, so people start,
Yeah, well, we will keep the numbers up because obviously eating animals, that keeps the numbers up. So endangered species, just eat them. And then I also put on the flip side, because people don't like mats and rice, going back to another episode, rats and mice, then maybe we should stop eating them because obviously that's what's making them more of them running around. He didn't get what I meant, but my point being is that his answer didn't make sense. If no one ate meat, there would be no animals in fields for all to see. That's just a typical meat eater's response.
Yeah, I can't imagine a world where, I don't know, in an ideal world where, like, everybody is vegan. Could you imagine just driving around in your car and seeing all these empty fields?
No. And the thing is, before people started factory farms, how and people ate meat, so because I think people eat meat more today than they ever did, or they're encouraged to. How did the numbers not decline and these animals die out before, years ago? Then how come these species were going we're going and like now, because they would have died out years ago when people ate more plants. So
I just think it's just his way of trying to justify the way that he makes his money.
Yeah.
Whether he has a conscience or not, or guilt or not, I think he's just trying to justify, just to make himself feel better for the fact that he, exploits these beautiful animals.
Yeah. I mean, fair enough. Obviously, it's a supply and demand thing that the more meat people want, the more they're going to factory farm. They're going to breed more and more and more. Granted, but I can't ever see cows, pigs, lambs, sheep, chickens, all dying out, all because majority of people have gone vegan, or people have stopped eating meat altogether. So,
well, we don't eat dogs in this country. So have dogs died out?
No, they haven't. Good point.
You know?
No. Cats. No, I could kiss my cats to death.
I know, that's why I have the hairs on me.
Which cat was it?
Jasper.
He is a big cuddly cat. Really is. Yeah, he's well worth... Yeah, I could eat him. But in a nice way.
But I think he just wanted his food from me.
Oh, he was after his food from you.
Yeah.
And now it's time to meet our family. We have 4 cats in total. All very adorable, as you see. Absolutely beautiful. I've always loved cats. And I've always had cats. I wouldn't be without these at all. This is Jasper. He's a lovely ginger moggy. And he's about 7 years old. We've had him about 6 months. We acquired him, and him and his brother came to live with us, and he couldn't be more different to his brother. He's really quite loving. His brother, as you'll meet in a minute, can be a little bit temperamental, but Jasper really loves nothing more than a stroke and a cuddle and sit on your lap, don't you, Jasper? Okay. And he gets on well with Fergal, who's hiding in the bag there, if you can see. Fergal is about 1.5 years. He's been with us since he was about... Oh, look at them playing. He's been with us since he was about... You can't get in the picture. He's been with us since he was about 5 to 6 weeks old. He was abandoned they found him living on a farm somewhere as a kitten. He was so small you could fit him in the palm of your hand. And, Virgo, are you going to come out? Are you just hiding? Virgo. Let's pull this back and see if we can see. There you go, mister. There you go. He's very playful. Very, very playful. There you go. This is Ziggy. He's the other brother to Jasper. And like I say, Ziggy's very loving, but he can have a bit of a temperamental side. He does fight with Fergal and Jasper. He especially fights with Fergal. For some reason. Oh, you don't get on with your brother too well, do you, for some reason? But he's still an adorable cat, aren't you? Still an adorable boy. This is Twilight. She is the boss of them all, aren't you? Here you go, lady. She is the boss of them all. She really puts the boys in their place. We got her from a lady from London. And I don't think he could afford to keep her anymore. She's about 2 years old. She's been with us since just after Christmas, so about 6 months. And we absolutely adore her, don't we? Twilight. Sometimes I call her Twiglet, sometimes Twilight. She answers to both. She's absolutely beautiful. But she does put the boys in their place, don't you? Good on ya. Good on ya, lady. Stand your ground. Right, so Viva.
Yeah, so we done a Viva outreach, didn't we?
We did.
the
It was
weekend?
our first time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, lovely experience, definitely. And we both said we'd do it again as well. It was
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, definitely.
Met some lovely people, and there was a nice big bunch of us as well, and it was nice to sort of float ideas with those other people. But as much as it was lovely to talk to those other people, our main goal there was to plant seeds to the public as well, wasn't it? And
Yes,
just
it
to let
was.
them know about
Yeah.
veganism, and they came and tried a few different foods, didn't they? So it was mainly like the cheese. They tried a few
Yeah, there was
different
mainly
cheeses.
cheese there. I don't think was there anything else there.
I know there was some like different like milk alternative as well.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of people that were pleasantly surprised with the cheese as well.
Mm.
I mean, we
Actually, I didn't see anybody that didn't like the cheese. I don't know
No.
whether you did, but I really didn't. I saw
even
people
for
really
us, like,
really enjoyed it.
we hadn't ever tried the Greek style. Is it Violite, the Greek one?
Mhm.
And we both tried it, and we thought it was quite nice, didn't we?
Yes, and told to throw it on a bit. We did buy some actually, and I haven't done it
Yeah.
yet. I should have done it at lunchtime, but chuck it on a bit, cut it into little bite-sized chunks, and chuck it on some salad. Yeah, I'd say that it tastes really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really liked it. There was some really lovely like people that come and stopped. More non-vegans because they done. We actually got some vegans a bit like ourselves when we saw Viva in town, and they were like, "Oh, we feel like we're wasting your time because we're already vegan." But you know, it was just lovely to see there was more.
I
you know,
think though,
people around.
I think what it is because there aren't that many vegans, or we're a minority then. That when you see another vegan,
You're
you tend
drawn.
to you flock
Yeah.
flock to them. Us vegans
You're
have
my
found our
friend.
tribe. Yeah, because I know that's how with Viva, when we first saw them, we kind of felt like
oh, it's a safe place.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know?
we can be free.
But we did have some lovely people come over and that, and I know I was there holding a sign like, take this quiz, you know.
Yeah, it was a quiz obviously about veganism, wasn't it?
And we had some lovely people come over and stop. I don't think I got any negativity. I had the odd person make a few comments, and they're like, you know, soon they were like, "Oh, what's the quiz about?" And you know, I'd sort of say, and they're like, "Oh, I hate vegan food. It's disgusting."
How can they hate vegan
But
food?
then someone was like, "But I like salad though," and I'm like, "Salad's not vegan food. It's just
it's not
food."
vegan food per se, is it? You know, it hasn't got the vegan label. It's not exclusive to us vegans.
So yeah, we had some funny comments and stuff like that, but generally on the whole, people were lovely. You know, which is really nice.
Yeah, I kind of got the same experience really. That people are on the whole were in fact I don't think I did get any negativity. I got one old lady, I think, who was just wanted to try the vegan cheese, but I said to her, would you ever be interested in going vegan? Oh no, I'm happy as I am, and walked off.
There for the free food.
Yeah, I think she was there for the free food, but there you go.
Skip lunch.
Times are hard. Anyway, yeah. Going back to it, what I did find is that people were saying that it's like the vegan cook. I know it's not all about the eating. It's not all about the food.
But it's the first thing you sort of think about, isn't it?
Yes, it was for me, definitely. Well, I mean, obviously I thought about the animals, but I didn't think about
well, when you think
your things you wear
when you're transitioning, when you're
Yeah.
like, well, I want to be vegan now, and it is one of the first things, like, what am I going to do first? Where am I going to start? And the first thing you do start it with
is with
food.
Yeah, you don't think about the products. That's the word I'm thinking
Yeah.
of. Yeah. So I was going through a few things with people, and I think next time I'm going to see if I can take a couple of my cookbooks.
Yeah, because I actually think from certain people that stopped is there's a lot of people out there that don't actually want to eat meat, but they feel like, well, I want to be vegan or even vegetarian, but they just don't know where to start. And they're like, well, I'm limited. Like, it's because they just don't educate themselves. And because actually you speak to a lot of people and they're like, well, I like, you know, my vegan sausage roll from Greg's, or I like the McPlant burger from McDonald's whenever we go, or oh no, we only eat meat like 3 days a week rather than out of the 7, you know. So there's like quite a lot of people that are sort of leaning towards, and they don't actually want to eat the meat, but it's like they sort of assume that if I cut meat out of my diet, there's all these dishes that I can't have.
Yeah, a lot of people thought, I know, I used to think this, that you need iron, when you have, obviously you need iron in your diet, but the way to get iron is through red meat. And this woman absolutely thought that was the only way. And
I think you can get like a really good source is like spinach, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
You know,
yes, and I think if I remember rightly, this is just off the top of my head, frozen peas as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think things like lentils have them too.
You know, and it doesn't hurt just to vegan or non-vegan just to take a multivitamin, anyways. You know, just to make sure you're getting all of your vitamins.
Exactly. But you can get pretty much, there's only a few things that we'll touch on in another episode. There's only a few vitamins and minerals that you can't get. There's only about 2 or 3, I think, at the most.
But even then, what you're lacking across the board anyways, vegan or non-vegan, I think, so.
Yeah, because vitamin B12, everybody should be taking that, and vitamin D, because we don't get enough sunshine in the UK anyway. So everybody should be taking vitamin D and B12.
One thing that I found with a lot of people is they're like, I'm not vegan, I'm not vegetarian, I'm pescatarian. I eat my fish because I want my omega-3, and the only reason they're eating their fish is because of they want that omega-3. But what they don't realise is, being vegan, you can still get that from like natural sources, like your flaxseed, your walnuts, your chia seeds. You can actually get your fatty acids and your omega-3s that way. You know, so you don't actually have to be pescatarian and eat your fish. You can. And I think it's such a lovely thing to do because of you can have like your chia seeds and that over. You can have like the colour of the rainbow. So like you can have things like your nice fruit and yogurt and chuck your chia seeds over the top.
Yeah, you could even chuck it on cereal though.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And with the walnuts, what I would do is like, feel a bit peckish, rather than reach for a bag of crisp. Grab a palmful of walnuts. I know you're not supposed to eat much more than that, are you? It's supposed to be about a palmful.
But that's all you need.
Yeah,
you know?
You just need a little few, and slow releasing as well. So, energy releasing. So, really good
definitely.
for you. Yeah. But I know a lot of people were like you say, they were like, yeah, but I like spaghetti bolognese, I like lasagna, and I like this, and I like that. But they can do it still, because we still have all that sort of thing, don't we?
Yeah, because I mean, a good thing, if you want to substitute your minced meat, you can get the meat alternative. I think you can get, is it Fry's?
Fry's, Meatless Farm. I've got a couple more written down here, I think. Linda McCartney do one. But I think if you go into all the major supermarkets, usually they have their own plant-based range.
Yeah. Like
Tesco's is Plant Chef, Asda plant-based, and what's Sainsbury's? Pioneers, that's it. But most of them do like their own range, and you can usually find swaps.
You can just like substitute your minced meat for that, or even if you want to, we use like lentils.
Yeah, I was going to say and it's not like because I used to think you'd have to get the dry lentils and soak them, which I do for other things, but it's a bit much for some people. But what I do is I get tin of lentils.
Yeah, and I think that's amazing because, you know,
Canned.
The amount of people that like, I want to stock up, or I haven't got enough room in my freezer, you know, you can get these tins and you can just pop them in your cupboard. You know, it takes less room.
Well, and if you're like me that hardly ever cleans out your cupboard, you can have them in there for years.
Well, yeah.
You can.
Why not?
You've always got vegan food in your cupboard.
Yeah, exactly. You know, something happens, we've all got to isolate indoors. We've got tins in the cupboard, you know?
Yeah. But, I mean, chili con carne. Just swap in, like, the plant-based mince.
Yeah.
Make it as normal. That's how I do it for your dad.
Yeah, and he
Because
loves
he's
it.
yeah. Because I do for me and my other daughter. I do I think it's a black bean one, isn't it? Black
Yeah.
bean chili. But for you and my husband
Yeah.
Jason, you have a normal chili con carne made with plant-based mince.
Yeah, and it tastes beautiful. You wouldn't really know,
No, no.
And I think because it's not going to stop you from having like your shepherd's pie, your meat, your lasagna, the like you say the spag bowl. There's all these lovely things that you can still have. Think of your favorite dish, and you just think, well, I'm just going to get the meat alternative.
Mm-hmm.
And then even the things like the dairy, you can get the dairy alternative, like your cheese, like the vegan cheese. Your vegan butter, because there's so many different things. Like in cooking, you can use like your coconut oil. You can get like all these different sort of buttery spreads. You can get like olive oil spread. You can get vegetable spread, sunflower spread. And then there's all the plant-based.
We use that Vitalite one, don't we?
Yeah.
I think it's Vitalite.
I think is it Le Pack? And
oh, I don't know. Do Lurpak do one?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they do a dairy-free one as well.
Oh, do they?
And they're pure. And then it's there is one. It's I think it's I can't believe it's not butter.
Right.
Yeah, they do one as well.
Really?
Yeah. So there's all these different spreads that you can get.
Because they would normally be like dairy ones. But a couple of those names there, they've brought out like a main brand dairy spread.
Yeah.
They've brought out their plant-based ones. I didn't know that.
So they're great.
Because I just tend to go for the Vitalite.
If you want your toast in the morning, you can still have your butter. Just your vegan butter. Or in your cooking. A lot of people as well, when they're cooking, they're like, well, when it comes to baking, I want my eggs. So a really good thing, like I always like to substitute, instead of putting an egg in, substitute it for a banana, because you're going to be baking something sweet anyways. Banana's naturally quite sweet.
What you mean when you're baking a cake or something? Yeah. I think there's different ways of, because you can use flax seeds.
Yeah.
For make it, like binding it up as well, like instead of an egg. You can use apple sauce, I think. I'm trying to think. There's all different ones. Or I think if you look up online, they usually, you can usually find out. Different recipes vary.
Yeah, but something like, I don't know, if you want to make some like brownies or something, using something like a banana is such a good substitute.
Well, yeah, and also as well, if you're anything like us, you usually have loads of brown or black bananas that you need to use up.
Yeah, and then it's naturally quite sweet anyways, aren't they?
Yeah,
so why not?
They've gone over, not far from being mouldy, and you need to use them up. I thought you meant for like a cooked breakfast, because even that, now you don't have to go without. I mean, we stayed at a Premier Inn over the weekend because we went to see the Waterboys in Birmingham. And they do like a really good cooked breakfast.
Yeah, they use a lot of the This Isn't range, don't
yes,
they?
Yes, they do.
And I'm pretty sure like places like IKEA, I think we mentioned before, they stock that as well.
Yeah.
But even, I don't know if they still do, but do you remember we tried it was like a vegan scrambled egg from Aldi as well?
Yeah, we won't talk about that one. I don't think they do it now, but it didn't go down very well in our house. But talking about scrambled egg,
yes, you've got a lovely recipe, haven't you?
Yeah, you can make it with tofu, and a lot of people do it with that nutritional yeast and turmeric.
Yeah,
just turmeric sort of adds the colour.
Because and it does actually have that eggy sort of smell and taste to it, doesn't it?
Yeah, but I got some stuff. I got a recipe, and you have to use, I think it's called black salt. I think it's called black salt. It's actually pink. It's pink salt, pink colour. But when you open the jar of it, it stinks like egg. It does. It really does stink like egg. So yeah. And you needn't go without.
And it doesn't you know, because a lot of people are like, oh, it sounds so much hassle, you know, I can't be bothered, I just, you know, when I want to cook an egg, I can just chuck it in. But, you know, you would say yourself it doesn't take an awful lot to do.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. But going back to the vegan cooking though, it's not hard to transition to vegan cooking. A lot of people think it is hard. But I mean, just arm yourself with a couple of really good cookbooks. And like I say, if you really don't enjoy cooking that much, then arm yourself with a slow cooker and get, I think I've mentioned it before, the Fern Cotton book, Happy Vegan, or any of the Bosch books, or there's even a BBC Good Food vegan book that you can get. And get any of their recipes, like for chilies, or there's a spicy bean stew that Fern Cotton has. Chuck it into a slow cook in the morning, and when you come back from work, or if you're there at home throughout the day, you can smell it cooking, and it, or when you return from work and you just open the door and it's such a lovely smell. Yeah, and you've got a ready-made meal there. You haven't got to like stand there, because nobody feels like cooking when they come home from work.
What the beauty of a slow cooker is, you just chuck it all in. It does it itself, really.
Yeah.
All in, you know. You haven't got to sit for hours. Like, I've got to do all these different things to it, you know.
Yeah, so there's no excuse really. But that was when we were doing the Viva thing, outreach. That was mainly what came up with me is, I don't know, I find it so hard to cook and what have you.
Yeah, and it's just knowing where to start with people as well, you know. If you think, or even start with yourself. So be like, do you know what? Let's just do a few days a week. Let's do like 2 days a week. We're not going to eat meat, and we're going to do this, and we're going to get to grips with cooking these meatless meals, these 2 a week, and then as you go along, progress it to more and more, and then before you know it, you'll be like, do you know what? We've gone this whole week eating vegan, and we've eaten some good food, you know, and we'll start with breakfast, you know. Wake up in the morning, have your milk alternative in your cup of tea or in your cereal, or, you know, your vegan yogurt with your, or, you know, whatever you have.
Small steps.
Yeah, and then just progress it, because don't be so daunting. I mean, it's beautiful if you can just wake up and just be like, you know what, I'm going to go vegan, I'm going to chuck it all out the house, I'm going to get rid of all my meat, I'm not going to eat it, I'm not going to have any dairy. But you don't have to take that massive leap. Just do it step by step.
I don't know many people who have just taken that massive leap. I know a couple of people. Do you remember the Vegan Muscle?
Yeah.
They said that they watched one of the documentaries and they just went in their cupboards and fridge and just like threw everything out.
Yeah, because I must admit to some people, if you have that in your head, that's what I'm going to do. It's the thought of carrying on still eating the meat or dairy, but like you say, just take it step by step. Just it's just less daunting that way, you know.
I think that's probably really good advice, actually. Yeah, just a little bit at a time. I mean, I was vegetarian for years. You actually transitioned all at once, though, didn't you?
Yeah, pretty much. I just, when I decided that, I kind of thought in my head like I wanted to do it, and the thought of carrying on still eating the products, I just couldn't. But I can understand to a lot of people that how it would be daunting, because I mean, I was lucky I had you to lean on for recipes and Bridie and that. There's there's so many of these people out there that don't have anyone to lean on. So just take it step by step. You know, even if it's just like, do you know, I'm gonna have a vegan sandwich today. You know, and test myself, and I see how you get on.
But just remember, though, the other thing is that it's not vegan food as such. It's just food.
Yeah, everybody eats.
It's vegan. We were talking about this, weren't we?
everyone eats vegan. You just eat dairy and meat on top.
Yeah. So it's just a case of like you say, gradually taking them out the diet, and
Yeah.
you'll sort of part way there. Yeah, really good. Well, I suppose we better leave off there.
Yeah.
Some quite good chat we had about vegan food, and
yeah, definitely.
yeah.
Because one thing I just want to add is because when you have vegan food, especially with your fruit and veg, I always think it looks your plate looks more of a rainbow, which does look more appealing because I do think we do eat with our eyes an awful lot. So I do.
Yeah, we do. I think any scientist would tell you that.
So I think having a more colourful plate makes you feel better as well. I think.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're supposed to eat a colourful plate too.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be good for you. You know, you're getting, if you do, you eat the rain. That's where the eat the rainbow comes from, isn't it?
Yeah.
You get all your nutrients and minerals. Yeah. Right. Well, we better sign off there.
Yeah.
Been a long one again this week.
Yeah, we just managed to. We could just keep talking, I suppose.
Yeah, there's never a dull day in this vegan household. I suppose to some meat eaters it might be. But that guy who I was talking to on Facebook, that farmer, I suppose, yeah, it would be dull to him. Yeah.
You never know. There's hope out there.
There's hope. Maybe one day we'll live in a vegan society. Just, yeah.
Well, there has been a couple of videos I know I've seen where you've seen like farmers that have transitioned and they don't want to do the animal side anymore, don't they? And they change it over, don't they?
That's right. It's that film, 73 Cows. We must talk about that one day.
Yeah.
Yeah, on YouTube. If you haven't seen it yet, have a look at that film, 73 Cows. I'm sure it's called 73 Cows.
It's a beautiful film, isn't
it?
It's not a long film, is it?
No, it only lasts about 15 minutes, I want to say. Might be less.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's good to look that up on YouTube. Very good. Yeah, I was going to say something else then. It's gone out of my head. Oh, have we mentioned about the oat milk sales?
Oh, no, yeah, how they've just
I wish we'd
skyrocketed.
Yeah, we saw it on the news the other day. I wish we had taken down the statistics.
Yeah, and I mean, off the top of my head, I mean, like, don't quote me because I might have this wrong, but I think it was something like it gone from like 150 million to like over 1 billion.
Something like that. Yeah. Sales
you know.
I take it's sales in the UK because it was a UK news, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think it was a UK regional news, but they must have taken the statistics for the country.
Because there is an awful lot of people that actually have oat milk as standard now. Because there's a lot of people, I mean, like, you've had, I know, like, the washing machine man come and we don't have any milk in the house, do we?
He did actually come to fix the washing machine, we might add.
Yeah,
he didn't just turn up, can I have a cup of tea, love?
Yeah. Yeah, I really like that cup of tea. What was your secret? It was oat milk.
Yeah.
There's so many people that love it's so much creamier, isn't it? So there's so many people just have it as standard, vegan or not, so which is great.
Yeah, actually, if I remember rightly, I did make a bit of vegan cake that morning. It was a vegan carrot cake, and he didn't fix the washing machine, did he? He couldn't fix it. And
not because of the carrot.
No, I gave him a bit of carrot cake, and he said, "Oh, I'll take it away with me." So I put it in a nice little box and everything. And then he announced that he couldn't fix the washing machine. So I was going to take it back off him. I thought I'd better not.
I think
he might not come back.
I think it was his plan because he thought, I'm not going to fix it today because I'm going to come back and have some more of that cake.
You reckon?
Yeah.
It was a different bloke that came back, so no. Never mind. Anyway, we better go.
Yeah,
Let's go. Get off this screen.
Let's have some food.
Yes, I'm really hungry now. Anyway, well, thank you for watching, and well, it's late in the day for us now, but if you're watching this and any time of day, and just remember our motto is to
be
kind. And thanks for watching. Take care. See you next time.